welcome everybody to the latest edition of the Red Leaf Retrocast Anime Edition. It is episode 98. I'm your host, JD, as usual, joined by my two buddies, Tori and Hickey. Hickey, how you feeling, buddy?
Now?
Yeah, sure,
Amazing.
right now.
Compared to a week ago, definitely good. My voice is back. I lost my voice for a good week due to getting COVID. Got a throat infection as well, or it was just the COVID that affected mostly my throat. But I'm still coughing a little, but it's fine. It's great.
Well, I'm glad
I
you're
wish I could drink,
surviving.
but I wish I could drink, but I had to take antibiotics, so I can't drink for like 5 more days ish.
How will you survive?
That's a good point. I don't know. Life has been dream ever since I couldn't drink for the past 2 weeks.
Aw.
I've been sober for 2 weeks now. Look at that.
Look at that.
Welcome to Alcoholics Anonymous.
Oh, no. Tori, you're here. What's up?
I am here. Not much. I got exams coming up, so, that's been studying.
More exams. Didn't you graduate already?
I did, but then I started university, so, there's that. I'm studying to become a marketer, so a digital marketer. So I have to take that seriously and study hard, which is why we leave everything to the end.
Yeah. He needs to understand what a meme is.
I do need to understand what a meme is at a college level, that's right.
Can you break this down for us?
No.
You haven't learned it yet, obviously.
That's right.
That's what you're going to school for.
I still don't understand memes. I'm not smart enough to truly understand memes.
I'm glad you are there to admit that. You're man enough. All right, on this episode, as we inch ever so closer to the 100 milestone, we are reviewing Blue Gender, a sci-fi wacky anime from 1999. Whew. Yeah, that happened.
It did happen.
It did happen. So look forward to that. In the meantime, I knocked out quite a few anime, and I got some impressions to give over a couple spring anime. That's my little update.
I can't believe you watch anime.
I do, Tori. It's crazy.
Actually, to be honest, I can't believe you're the only one on this podcast that has watched anime.
Hey. I was watching anime. I was doing well. Then I got COVID. I didn't have the patience to watch anime because, again, I had a really serious throat infection.
Yeah. Excuses.
And I couldn't concentrate on anything. I almost had to go to the hospital. Not because they had to give me oxygen. It was just to give me painkillers. Because I couldn't talk, I couldn't concentrate, I couldn't do anything, and the drugs weren't doing any effect.
Look at this guy just making up excuses.
Really bad.
That's exactly what it sounds like, Tori.
But I'll be back at it. I have impressions as well. I watch it enough to give impressions on some shows.
Oh, well, give me your impressions then. Keep going.
And now you can start it.
I can start? All right.
Yeah.
Well, I can start with some of the anime I finally was able to knock out from 2020.
Woo!
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm still working on that myself.
Yeah, I finished Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls into Dungeon Season 3, which had an epic Minotaur fight at the end, which was pretty rad. I really enjoyed that. As for kind of the whole story with the self-aware beasts of the dungeon, it was fine. It's definitely not its strongest season, but the action was certainly there. I did enjoy that. There is that underlying kind of overarching secret story that they're building up, so that's still intriguing. And our main character keeps getting stronger in ways that make sense, which I can't really say that a lot about a lot of shonen anime out there. So yeah, season 3 wasn't so bad. I think I gave it like
that he's still getting his ass kicked. Like, for example, in that aforementioned Minotaur fight you were talking about.
Dude, I was expecting the shonen trope of, oh, he gets the shit pissed kicked out of him, and he just gets up, and it's like one move, he finally wins, and they both kind of fall down.
Yeah, they even fucking tease that. It's like, oh, he's finally going at it with all of his power, all of his will. And then the Minotaur just gets back up, and it's like, oh, fuck. Oh, no.
Just wrecks his ass. yeah, the enemy can do shit. Just fucking pulverizes him into a wall. We're even.
Just walks away. It's like, it's 1-1 now.
I love it. He has one arm. It's fucking fantastic. I love it. I hope that Minotaur gets a new arm so we can. That's how the Minotaur levels up again.
Yeah.
I finished Fire Force Season 2. Definitely not as good as the first one. Was not really into that at all, very much. How do I phrase it? I feel like it's diverted away from what made the first season interesting to me in the story. Yeah, okay, the fights were good, but how... It's just started doing these weird, wacky character side stories that I just wasn't into, with the whole woman who's the daughter of the military leader. You shouldn't be here anymore. You're a woman. Kind of like, okay, what are we doing here? Oh, the ending arc is all about this. It kind of felt like it was filler, a waste of time.
Yeah. I dropped that show a long time ago.
Yeah, with how it finished, I'm like, man, I could have definitely lived without this, but I do like the universe. I do like some of the comedy that's mixed in with it. So I'm still vaguely into it, but I've definitely fallen off my hype. I don't remember if I mentioned on a previous podcast I finished Jujutsu Kaisen, but I will say I finished it regardless, and that had a great ending. It's an extremely popular show, and I absolutely understand why. It's very exciting. Lots of engagement. The fights are incredibly unique, and it's dark on top of it all. So that's that it feels new and fresh, and I'm into that. So lots of positivity going on, except Fire Force. And then I finished Inspector, the manga. I was a big fan of, but what was very hesitant over how it was going to translate to an anime. And I was like, man, it's so dialogue heavy. Is it going to be just talking the entire time with still screens? And yeah, it kind of was. They kind of mixed in some fight scenes every now and again with the characters. The comedy sort of didn't translate the same in anime form. Yeah, not the best adaptation, although it did feel like a 1-to-1 for the most part, but this is definitely a case where I say maybe do some extra stuff to translate it better. A rare case, I could say that.
I don't know. I still don't. I normally don't like 1-to-1 adaptations, anyways, because they're just lazy. But in this case, it's like even the dialogue at a lot of points just are like it's not interesting what they're talking about, and I swear there are some times where I feel like the conversation is lagging far behind where I am, and I'm like, yes, I know what's gonna happen. I know what the fucking realization is gonna be. Just get to it, and they never fucking get there. Ugh.
Yeah, it's very drawn out in the anime form. Like, it's definitely read at your pace kind of dialogue, which made me enjoy the manga. But I always had that thing in the back of my head. I don't see this working out as an anime, and kind of proved me right. So, I mean, I enjoyed the series mostly because I do like this. I do like it, like the story and what it does, and the characters are kind of goofy. I think the comedy hits the right time, but yeah, it's just way too dialogue heavy with not enough action going on, not a lot of energy to the show. It's what I expected out of it, and I'm almost done with Isaacin, but I'm not there yet to truly talk about it. Same thing with Princess Half Demon, the Inuyasha spin-off sequel. But I am making progress on those two things. And then there's a couple shows I got some impressions from the spring season. But Hickey, I'll leave
Yes.
Leave it to you now.
So I guess highlight 3 shows.
Sure.
The
2 or
first
3,
one,
whichever.
I guess, first one I having a lot of fun watching is Tokyo Revengers.
Oh,
Even
that is
though
being advertised so heavily for me. Just kind of,
it is
yeah.
so good. I watched the first episode. I was like, okay, I'll take a look at the manga, and I read the manga up to like 2 a.m. I had to go to work.
Was
That
this
might be the case
pre or
on why I
post
was feeling
COVID?
so bad, man. Yeah, pre-COVID,
Okay.
pre-COVID. Yeah, so like 2 weeks ago. The main character is not strong, even though like he's in the gang and stuff. He's just really weak, but that's the point. He's just there to try his best, basically. And it's very, very good. Very, very good. The only thing that is bad, in my opinion, is the character ages. They
Okay.
could be a little bit older because like they are in middle school and then the story and it's just it doesn't fit. Like a bunch of characters start just dying left and right and they're just in middle school when they go to prison and shit. It's just like too much for middle school, especially in Japan and especially the 2005s. If it was like in the 80s, okay-ish, like 70s, there was a lot of juvenile violence in Japan in the 70s and 80s, but nowadays it's a little bit too much. But aside that, it's very, very fun. Very, very fun.
Would you recommend Tokyo Revengers to someone like me?
Yeah, I think you have a good time.
Okay.
I honestly think you have a good time watching the show. Like everyone around the main character is very powerful, and they go into fights, but the main character is just like trying his best, even though
Mm-hmm.
like he's just a kid, and he's not powerful, he's not strong, he doesn't know how to fight, but he has a motivation and he has like the adult, right? The adult mind, which is like the best part of it, in my opinion. When I was reading the manga, a lot of people were complaining that he just gets beat up by like mob characters,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the point. Like he's not strong. He's like he's in middle school and he's like 120 at max, right? He's not strong. He's not tall. He doesn't know how to fight. The only thing he knows is like some bad shit is gonna happen in the future, and I'm going back in time and I can save those people. I try to save it, and there's so many plot twists and stuff during the 80 mark of chapters that I stopped reading. That is definitely worth watching it. I'm pretty sure
You've convinced me. Absolutely.
yeah, you're gonna have a nice time watching it.
It's by Linden Films. It's got a fairly decent score on the MAL. It's closer to the 8.0 side than the 7, so that's a good sign on the MAL scale generally.
Yeah, just remember if you go into the show thinking the main character will be just like this awesome dude that just goes around and beats up people, you're not gonna like the show.
Okay.
Like honestly, even if he has like the hand side of basically being a tactician, not because he's smart, but because he is older than everyone else. You know, he's like 26 in the body of his 15-year-old, 14-year-old self. Even then, when he says this is a bad idea, people ignore him, right? It's like, well, so what? You just fucking little bitch. What are you gonna do about it? And they ignore him, even though he's talking sense on them. And things go wrong. People get stabbed. Like there's murder attempts left and right. Just kids trying to kill each other again. That's the worst part. It's just they're way too young for the things that are happening there. But it's fine. I like it. I enjoy it. Enjoy it quite a lot. But I like the delinquent shows. So
Cool. I'm excited. Definitely gonna check that one out. Is that the only one, or you got some more?
Super Cub is fun. If you
Excuse me?
like Hondas. Super Cub.
Super Cub.
Yeah, it's fun if you like little 150cc Hondas.
Oh.
And the main character is just they started the main they started the main character is like, man, I should kill myself. It's like,
Oh.
damn.
Oh no.
And then she finds a little Super Cub, which is a 80s Honda scooter thing, like Hornet Vespa style of thing, and everything changes. She gets friends and everything else, so it's very comfy. Even though the first episode's a little bit too dark.
I don't
And
know
I
why I'm
guess
laughing at it the way you described it.
I guess from well, I didn't describe it. It's literally what happened. And I
Oh
guess
man.
I watched 86 as well, which was fun.
I did
Definitely
as
fun.
well. That was also another one I watched.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying good things about Vivi, which has almost a 9 on Mal, I
Yeah, I'm
think.
seeing that. Wit Studio.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of
Fluoride,
screenshots from
Song.
it. It looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah, so I might go and take a look at it. Also, Shaman King 2021.
Mhm.
They are as deformed as I remember them being.
Yeah, that was the one I watched the most of, so I could give quite a decent little impression on that sucker. You know, the shonen guy, of course I would.
Yeah, even though you didn't know that that's an old
I know, right?
show.
Crazy. Mm.
All right, go JD.
Oh, okay.
Talk about
Well,
shonen.
all right. I'll start with 86. It's A1 Pictures. So it's everyone, of course, looks exactly how you would associate A1 Pictures to have character designs as. It's essentially, my understanding is it's a two feuding nations against each other, and it's a war story. And they've created robots to essentially fight against each other. However, the twist is there's a division called the 86, which they're actual people that have had their humanity stripped away, and they have to fight in these like spider type robot situations. And the kicker is the main empire, the republic, San Magnolia. What's going on here is there's a military group called handlers, and the handlers are pretty much playing the game Battleship from the way it looked. They sync up with all of the robots, and they just command the battlefield, kind of like you would, A1 to B6 or what have you. They're doing marching orders, and where this all intertwines is our main character girl. She gets reassigned to this to be the handler of this one group in the 86, and they're actual people. However, the Republic, because their humanity's been stripped away, they're not human, so therefore there's no casualties if they die. They're very proud of this, and she doesn't believe in this kind of stripping humanity way of life, and it's pretty much her developing relationship with these members whom kind of have this this thing about trying to drive their handler insane or making them quit or what have you. And it's a fairly dark story and interesting relationship that develops through the show, and I'm definitely into it. It's not the greatest story being told quite yet. They're still not hooking me, but the twist is certainly there. The intrigue is there, and I'm interested in continuing this. It's a short 11 episode series, so it's definitely not a long investment by any means. Not unlike Shaman King, which is going to be 52 episodes.
Yeah, yeah. 86 is one of the it's based on one of the more popular light novels going on. So
Let's see.
I'm
According to
excited to look
Mal,
at it.
it's the 367th most watched show, and Tokyo Revengers is the 5th. Just going by my anime list for reference.
Yep.
What do you think of it, Hickey?
like the little bit I've watched is a little bit too cliche, but
Yeah,
that's fine.
kinda.
That is fun. Like
Okay.
the whole universe is very fun. A little like detail that passed by the synopsis, and I think you lost it, is that the Empire they were fighting, they did the autonomous robots to fight them, but the autonomous robots kind of went Skynet and wiped out the Empire already.
Oh, I must have missed that part. Okay.
Yeah, so they're just so like they have a kind of a lifespan of the robots' batteries, I think.
Oh, so that's why they're saying
Yeah,
no
that's
matter
why
what,
they're
the
like,
war
oh,
is going to end in 2 years.
years.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what happened. That was extremely interesting. So like they're not
Okay.
they're just fighting the robots to survive, like just war of attrition until
Their batteries go out.
the batteries go out.
So
And
maybe
86 is
we
the
can
district.
assume that Skynet finds more batteries.
I mean, Skynet did find some batteries on Terminator, so who knows? That's what's interesting about the story. It's like this twist that may or may not happen, right? It's like what if the projections are wrong?
Yeah, and they just stop and they're like, "Hooray, war over." What do you mean what do you mean they put in the AAAs? Ah, shit.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. I don't like a little bit too cliche, but it doesn't hurt the story.
All right. I also watched Shaman King 2021 for a shonen fan. Again, not familiar with the series at all. In fact, I'd never heard of it. So, hooray me. Very exciting for a new show for me.
Shonen fan, my ass.
Ah, come on, Tori. We all have like a thing that just flies under the radar every now and again. You fool.
No, definitely not. Never happened to me, ever.
You know, believe it or not, despite me being a super smart big brain engineer guy, there are some things, I will admit, just a few that I'm not familiar with. May not be an expert on. I'm willing to be a little humble here.
Willing to be a little humble. All right.
So Shaman King is extremely wonky and wacky character designs, but it's kind of I kind of like it at the same time. It reminds me of Gegege no Kitaro type character designs, where they're kind of long, slender, super skinny necks, big heads. Characters are really wacky in size and proportion. So that take that for exactly what it's worth. The where the show is fun is it's focused around essentially these different, I don't want to say religious figures, but
Shaman.
Well, yes, they're shamans, but what would be it's people that channel energy from, and they represent different religions. So you have Taoism, Taoism, Shintaoism, or is that the same? Not up on my religion, but yeah, you get the idea. And our main character wants to be the Shaman King, one that can essentially communicate with God, the spiritual being of all of Earth, and it immediately establishes essentially what's going to be a massive magical tournament with totally not JoJo's Bizarre Adventure stands with them. So what the shamans do is they communicate with a ghost, either imprison them, control them with mind control techniques. In the case of the Taoist, with their charms over their faces. Our main character chooses to become total friends with them, and the ghost gives them essentially their power and skill, and they can basically fuse with them, one body, one mind situation. And it's got a goofy little cast they introduced. There's a main female character that She has her own shaman type abilities that assist our main character, and they've been arranged by the family to get married. So they're very forthcoming about it all, and they seem to be kind of okay with it. Funny enough, so that kind of threw me off, but I like it. It's a fucking tournament show. They set it up immediately. We're heading to, I guess, China. We're gonna get our no, they're heading to Tokyo. Tokyo fight, yeah. So it's basically Mortal Kombat with shaman religious tones, which is kind of cool.
Can't wait for the fatalities.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there will be deaths in it, just and the people going through spikes and spines getting pulled out by ghostly figures. Maybe, perhaps. I almost expect
to find out.
Yeah, I almost expect a 5-on-5 situation with the way this main character is meeting people and kind of changing their tone of how they view utilizing their spirits. So yeah, I enjoy it. It's lots of fun. Hickey, are you watching it?
I am.
What do you think?
They're adapting the manga now. That's good. The 2000 show was a little bit all over the place, I guess. So this one is actually following the manga as it should, in a good adaptation.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, and they are extremely deformed, just like I remember them being.
I said I was gonna watch The Princess of Snow and Blood, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. So
I watched the first episode.
Oh, what'd you think? Tell me.
It is interesting, I guess. Like, what is that one manga we watched about, like, Kill Bill?
Lady Snowblood.
Yeah, it's Lady Snowblood with yokai.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping. I'm down for it. It doesn't have the highest score on Mal, so
and James Bond.
Yeah, I'm wondering if what's wrong with it.
There's James Bond on that as well. And it's interesting. At least the first episode was interesting. I thought it was interesting. Probably, like, the animation is not the best.
Okay.
Like, they knew they couldn't give the best animation possible, so they went with stylish.
Okay.
Yeah. It's good enough. It has a 6.4. I think a 6 is good enough for the show.
Alrighty. Is anybody or has anybody watched To Your Eternity?
No.
No, okay. It's by Brains Base. It's kind of the highest rated show of the season. It's got a shit ton of people watching it. Not named My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. No one's watching it. We'll just move on. Tori, do you have any updates?
Yeah, no, I've still been trying to work my way through the final shows that I'm watching from last season.
You've been playing Space Sex Rangers or whatever it was called, aren't you? That's what you've been doing.
Absolutely, all the time. Nah, like I said, I'm still watching. I've only got 3 shows left to finish. Horimiya, and Tomosaki-kun, and The Wonder Egg Priority are the only shows really that I need to get through. I will get through them hopefully soon. And other than that, I've been playing video games. I've been playing the new Nier that came out, Nier Replicant, or new Nier, old Nier, which is fun. It's been a nice, relaxing time of fishing. And there's some story going on as well that I sometimes have to do in between the fishing. But other than that, it's been fishing.
Yeah, you aren't the only one in the group circle that's been playing that. A bunch of people in Discord have been playing it as well.
It's fun. It's a good game. I enjoy it so far.
All right. Well, if
it's
that's
not quite Nier Automata, but it's of course it isn't.
No, of course not.
Still got that absolutely amazing music though. Oh god, I love it.
Alrighty. Well, if that's it, I guess I will play. What do you guys think? Dirty Pair music? We can get into Blue Gender? All right. Playing it now. Alrighty, Blue Gender came out in the fall of 1999 by Studio AIC, directed by the same dude that did Armored Trooper Votomes, I believe. His name's not important. I don't care. This anime doesn't deserve a lot of praise.
Abe.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, he was a storyboard and episode director for DC.com, a bunch of DC.com episodes. Huh.
All right, in the
Matt
early...
Rotana.
Let's see if there's anything good. You can keep talking. I'll
All
just find something.
Anime Planet. In the early 21st century, the emergence of an incurable condition known as B-cell growth led to some of the infected to become sleepers, quote unquote. People put under stasis until a cure could be found. Yuji Kaido is one such sleeper who awakens several decades later in the, I think, what was it, the far-off year of 2017?
Yep.
Something like that. We're in space. Earth is fucked. But anyways, horrifying new reality he wakes up to. Giant bugs known as Blue have invaded the Earth, eating everything and everyone in sight. Now, all Yuji can do is escape from the city with the ones who awoke him from his inevitable death and makes their way towards Second Earth, mankind's new home in space, which is totally not a giant Gundam satellite situation. So, Yuji and our main girl, Marlene Angel, are our two main characters throughout the show. And yeah, he wakes up. He's freaked out for many times. Marlene pilots this exoskeleton mech to fight the Blue, which are giant dung beetles that have a brain exposed on their forehead, and that they must shoot that to kill them. Otherwise, their shells are too hard to fight against. Many people die throughout the show. It's a journey of death and survival with very stupid decisions by Yuji. They have no control over this man and his dumb decisions, which seems stupid. They should just tie his ass up. It's a recurring theme that's quite annoying. But at least in my opinion, is the first half was fine. I was at least still somewhat interested. And then eventually they go into space, where I'm just fast forwarding through this entire show, basically. But they go into forgive me, but it must be done. He goes into space. That's when they finally tell us about the B cells. Where
Which is very dumb.
Yeah, it's extremely stupid.
It's like, yeah, no, the B cells in your body, which is just kind of white cells. If you watch it, Cells at Work.
Yeah. Yeah.
They synchronize with the mecha and work as a huge B cell for Earth. And I was like, okay. And then yeah. And then Earth is actually fighting cancer, that is humanity. And it's like, oh, so you just mechanized the B cells that Earth created to kill humanity.
Right.
I see.
Yeah, and it's
bad.
Yeah. And it's exactly how you think everything would unfold, that it was actually a man-made purpose evolution situation through evil science where they injected fucking animals and plants and shit with B cells. So of course that led to the Blue, and they're like, "Oh no!" And various other sleepers are found also in the space station. They go fucking crazy, including Yuji for a time. But Marlene discovers human emotions, which I guess is now absent in space.
Human emotions are absent in space.
Yeah, and they go to
like bone density.
Yeah, and then they go to Earth. They go back to Earth. They fight some shit. Horrible fight scenes. And I guess Yuji becomes one with Earth, and then they hug. So how about that for a show synopsis?
Woo! Amazing. 10 out of 10.
He becomes one with Earth.
Look, this and like every conclusion to every story, whether it was side or full, made no fucking sense to me.
My boy Tony.
Tony Frost.
Oh yeah.
Tony Frost. It's like, yeah, it's Earth. It's a Gaia plan, and I'll become God. I'm the Messiah. Like, what the hell is like? I like at episode 20. What the fuck happened after episode 20?
How? Okay.
I don't know what did happen.
Yeah, because Tori left at episode 16.
That's right.
Like after episode 20, it's just like Tony started controlling the blue, and it's like this is all a Steins Gate plan. No, sorry, wrong anime. This is all Earth's plan because Earth wanted to eliminate mankind because mankind was reproducing too much and using too many resources. And I was like, huh? And we are the B cells, not to kill the blue, but to kill the virus. There is humanity. I go, okay. And there's been a coup d'etat in the space. I was like, sure. Oh, okay. And like, why there's a coup d'etat? I was like, oh, because the military was doing military stuff. So the scientists made a coup d'etat to do scientist stuff. I was like, oh, all right. Cool.
Your reactions are exactly mirroring my thoughts while I was watching it all. I'm just going, yeah. Is this really what we're
Like, at the
explaining
end,
here?
It's like Yuji enters a plant that was glowing, and
He sure did.
and he teaches Earth that humanity has feelings, and then Earth is like, "Oh shit, yeah, you guys have feelings. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop now." And the people in space explode themselves. So like now.
Are
You
you
have a
sure
bunch
are you sure that's what happened?
The only people alive on Earth are a bunch of Brazilians and Guyanese.
Oh my god, that is awful.
And Yuji, and Yuji's like, we're gonna live here now with our baby. Now Marlene is pregnant after just one night of sex. It's like, holy shit, what the?
They had sex more than once.
And how they had sex once on space. And everyone starts speaking softly after episode 23.
Perfect. Just what I wanted.
I was watching a VTuber play Nier Automata at the background, and the music of Nier Automata made everything so much awesome. So bad.
Well, there you go. That's the best advice. If you're gonna watch Blue Gender, have the Nier replicant music going on.
I mean, to be honest though, if you're gonna do anything, put the Nier Automata music in the background. It's gonna make it way better.
Yeah, everything.
Eating a sandwich to Nier music. Have you tried that?
No, I need you. I'll do that later.
I think I will do that later as well. A roast beef sandwich with the Nier music going on. Why not? It sounds epic.
Yeah, no, like, what the hell just happened in that show?
I don't know. Oh man, yeah, no, I gave up on this show at episode 60. Like, again, like I said earlier,
you didn't finish it, Tori?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, is this only your second show?
It's like the second show I've dropped. Yeah,
I think. What'd you drop? Initial D was the other one, right?
Initial D was the other one. Yes. It's like I couldn't fucking stand watching the show, and I'm like, I'm fucking spending all day studying for exams, and I'm fucking spending all night sitting here slamming my head against the desk watching this show. That's not what I want to be doing right now. So at episode 6 now, it's just like, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm so sick of fucking Yuji. Like, how the fuck they didn't just fucking throw him to the blue and kill him? Fucking episode 1 is beyond me. He is absolutely obnoxious. Sure, I understand the initial shock of waking up and being like, wait, what the fuck is happening? Why is there giant bugs? And why are there people in strange suits? And why are people killing me? But they're killing each other, and fucking what are they doing to me? And all that shit. I get that, but after a while, it just... And not even after a while, that shit happens really fucking fast, because he's so obnoxious about everything. No one ever asked me what I want to do. It's like, motherfucker, look around. Is this really the time?
Yeah, yeah, no kidding.
Is this really the time? Fucking, you look like you're supposed to be some at least somebody who thinks he is fucking badass enough, but you're acting like you're 5, and your voice sounds like it. Oh my god.
He became like, oh my god. And when he just stopped screaming, because people were like, can you please stop screaming? There's huge monsters trying to kill us, and we just have rifles. Like, we cannot protect ourselves. So, like, just stop screaming. When he stops screaming, he goes on the bromance with that other dude, which partner died in episode 2.
His name
Joey.
was Joey.
Joey. And it's like
Singing the same song, shit. Yeah.
They become like best friends in the span of 5 minutes. It's like, hey, do you know this song? Yeah, I know this song.
That's what I do as well when I get to know people. I just hear them humming, and I'm like, yeah, I know that song, and they're like, cool. But in reality, I don't actually know that song.
You just lied to become best friends with him.
That's right.
This is how humanity works. Oh,
Is it
man. Yeah, the first half of the show was at least remotely interesting to me. Yes, it was filled with annoying main character yelling tropes, and kind of a lot of things that, logically don't make sense to how a military group wouldn't handle this motherfucker.
Yeah, or the fact that he's like, I won't fucking take another step until you tell me anything, which is already fucking stupid, but alright. And it's like, not part of our mission. Ignore him. It's like, okay, are you at least gonna fucking pick him up and carry him, tie him down, and fucking throw him in the back of the truck and get out of there? No. He's gonna get to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's gonna get to like jump.
We're gonna slightly walk after him and be really like passive aggressively annoyed at him for not following orders. It's just like, what the hell? What is this? What are you doing?
Yeah, that's literally and then so they do end up getting to. I really laughed at the spaceport scene. So the whole objective is to get to various points of interest so they could get back to space.
It's actually just get back to space. The problem is every time they try to go back to space, something happens. It's like, oh shit, we need to change space station.
We are out here in the ocean because the blue kids swim. Oh my god, they took the underground tunnel.
Yeah, that was my thought exactly. What do you what?
What do you mean there's an underground tunnel? Why wouldn't you cut that shit off?
God, idiots.
Oh.
Yeah, the spaceport scene was hilarious, and he fucking sees these sleepers in their fucking tubs, and he goes over, wake up! I don't want to be alone!
Wake up! And everybody was like, hey, stop that. No, stop that. No, I won't stop that. I don't want to be alone anymore. Man, can't you just stop that? It's like, someone do something. Anyone. Punch him.
Fucking knock him out with a rifle butt. Like, seriously. He's super important to your mission. You clearly don't see him as anything other than, what was it? A sample? Yeah, that's what they called him. A fucking sample this whole time. But
and then they finally get to space, and the scientist just like, here's our sample. And then Marlene is just like, what? You're treating him as a sample? And I'm like, oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
There was a moment in between the journey where he fucking unites with I don't want to call him a local tribe, but which begs the question, how are these people surviving all this time?
I mean, at least they sort of make sense, but fucking
how does it make sense?
City make no sense.
How do they make sense of it?
At least you see the fucking places they're going to. They still had fucking water. They still had resources, fucking natural resources to gather, food and shit like that. At least somewhat. They had animals. Sure, I can understand they haven't been attacked yet. Keyword yet. Whatever. But like fucking the people in the city, they had nothing. How are they alive?
Well, I was always asking. I go, one way or another. How are they never attacked to just get massacred? Because these blue are so strong and ridiculous, and without like fucking
because like
massive...
there's no energy sources. For
yeah,
the blues
they predominantly go after like technology. That's why they go after the robots and shit like that. Because
I understand that, but there was clearly like ones that are basically sandworms and shit. And
yeah. Nah, it's
They would show up literally everywhere at any time.
Like the show makes any sense.
right.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
so,
I shouldn't
I mean,
worry about
fucking-
it.
After 3 space stations, like 3 space shuttle things, and it's like, finally we can go to space, and one guy like falls in love with a fucking sleeper and tries to leave everyone behind.
That was so dumb. I'm like, this guy's gonna go crazy, and then he goes crazy, and I'm like, yep. Can't believe nobody saw that happening.
Yeah,
Fucking-
nobody
it's
saw the
so
crazy eyes in
dumb.
him.
There's so much dumb shit though. Same things like the fucking like I don't even know. Is it supposed to be fan service or the fucking like constantly from the beginning where it's just like anyway, so we're sitting here, we're making a report, and then fucking dude murders fucking loving killing blue dude just walks in and be like, I'm gonna just start feeling this one up because, you know, just to kind of insinuate the fact that in this world it is just normal to go up and grab somebody's tits and fuck them right then and there. It's just like, okay, cool. You made your point now. Why are we doing it again? And again. And again.
So many instances where people just start fucking out of nowhere. It was like there was this one when they go back to space and Marlene goes like, what do you mean you're treating him as a sample? And she like leaves and goes to the medical facility.
Mhm.
And she's like, okay, I need to disguise myself as a nurse. And then she just turns a corner and there's a guy fucking a nurse. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I see.
Fucking, it's so dumb. Same thing. I hate this anyways, but like the goddamn disguise thing where it's just like, oh, we're looking for this blonde girl. Can anyone find her? Blonde nurse walks by. No one even bats an eye. Sure. Of course. Because
The
she
hairstyle
couldn't
is
be
different.
wearing fucking nurse outfit. That would be silly.
It
Oh
takes so
my-
long for them to realize that was a fucking long little sex because it took like at least 2 hours for the nurse to realize her clothes were gone.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, that guy was bumping. Goddamn. That man was just going in. Holy shit. It took so long for her to realize, wait, where's my car? Wait, where's my clothes? It's like, holy fuck, they've been fucking this whole time? Goddamn.
Just to get it out of
Oh, man.
just get it out of the way. The music wasn't very good. The
Oh
art wasn't very
my
good.
God.
The
No,
animation
just put-
wasn't very good.
Just put Nier Automata music
Yeah.
behind it.
No,
It
the
becomes
fucking-
so good.
The action music in this show, the fucking like little like rock fucking guitar like coming in. I have never in my life fucking that is the epitome of somebody. But okay, so like real quick, can you just play something for us so that we have some music to use? And it's like, sure, let me just do some fucking open string picks and fucking rhythm and then end it up with a fucking power chord. Is that good enough? Yeah, sure, that's it. We'll just repeat that constantly. And I'm just sitting there, it's like, I'm getting a migraine listening to this. That is it. That
We
is all.
We
And
should
you
have just
loop that
watched.
shit all the time.
We should have just watched the movie, The Warrior, instead of sitting through 26 episodes. The movie is only an hour and 40 minutes, and it's basically a retelling with just like a couple things
Yeah.
changed. We
Yeah.
would have saved
Wow.
saved ourselves so much
But
time.
JD, according to Mal, it's way worse.
Really? I don't know about that one.
See, the
I might
show
give it a
has
higher score, just-
7.5.
I might just
The
give it a
show-
higher score just because it's shorter.
The show has a 7.05 on Mal, and the movie has a 6.23. Clearly, it's way worse.
I don't know about that one. I might switch those scores on purpose. just
Oh,
hack
man.
into Mal to change them.
Sorry, Mal, you made a grave mistake here. Well, technically, you made a grave mistake on like every show, but especially this one.
I was hysterically laughing at the Yuji Nomad sector of the series in that first half. So he falls in love with a nomad. That's how I'm gonna just refer
Out of
to
nowhere?
this chick. Out of nowhere, they become one.
Actually, fucking not even
Soulmates.
that girl falls in love with him out of nowhere. It's like he shows up and she's like, "Yep, I'm
You
into
are
that.
not from this village. I love you.
I'm into that."
I'm into you. And finally, Marlene and dude shows up. Other dude that they kind of hire, I suppose. And
Higher.
yeah,
I'm not driving you to the space station. Can you drive us to the space station though? Yeah.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I've fulfilled my lifelong purpose. What, to put the dog tag on the fucking... Okay, sure.
Yeah. Marlene sees him, like, clearly been fucking this chick, and she starts to discover human emotions, which begged the question, because I thought they had established that kind of everyone in space just doesn't have human emotions anymore. They have more or less instincts. But then that really begged the question of what the fuck was Joey's character?
Yeah.
And then they get to space, they reestablish this, like, lost human emotion, but then only other people don't have that. It's very bizarre. There's just no consistency in how this world is being told, and it's very wacky.
Well, JD, real life isn't consistent either.
Yeah.
A strong argument you make there, Tori.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
boy.
like real life, from time to time, we need you enter the light, beaming you through a flower, you know.
Yep.
And teach us that we have feelings, I guess. That's the moral of the story. I don't know. I don't know anymore.
I just thought he became one with Earth and, like, kind of reset the clock, so to say. But I guess that's the kind of the same finish line.
I guess I was like, oh man, that's so tragic, and suddenly just Yuji fucking respawns, I guess.
I thought he just left the plant.
I was like, oh, okay, I don't know, because I thought he died in the plant, but then he just didn't, and he just came. Like, how did he go back? It was like this huge beat. How did he left that place?
Oh, he just walked out. It's stupid.
It is impossible to walk. Okay.
Nothing is impossible if you believe in God and anime.
Sure.
Another strong argument, Tori. You're really filled with them today. So yeah, Blue Gender, pretty trash show. It's not good. Makes no sense from basically episode, what would you say, 16 minutes into episode 1? It stops making sense.
Yeah. No, the only thing that doesn't make any more, the only thing that makes less sense than Blue Gender is the fucking Mal score it has. That's, I have no idea. Even if somebody comes to me and tries to tell me that this is a product of its time, I just can't see it.
All right, I'm going to pull up some Mal
see,
reviews here.
Yeah.
You ready?
I don't see when this was ever.
You want me to read,
everything.
What do you want me to read, like an 8? 8 seems kind of like the person has some criticism of it, but still rates it pretty high. How about that?
Sure.
All right, here we go. Black Magic Mal review, 8 out of 10. I've got to admit, I'm surprised by the amount of enjoyment I had watching this series. Maybe it's because I didn't expect much heading in, but like I said, very enjoyable. Let's see here. Like Starship Troopers, very similar with Blue Gender. Despite staggering intelligence and development, mankind is getting owned by some bug monsters. Yeah, okay, all right. We follow Yuji. Anyone who enjoys raw brutality and violence surely won't be disappointed. There's even a damn good story behind it.
Is it?
I think the only reason I can't give it a 10 has to do with the characters. I personally never really connected with any of them, though this is no wonder since the majority of them die without warning. That's true. Definitely not for the faint of heart or easily depressed. Fair warning. Okay.
How the hell? I was just like, wait.
A lot of 10s, a lot of 9s.
Yeah. It's like this there are a lot of reviews are from like 2007, 2008, and I don't understand. It's like, come on. You had a fuck ton of amazing shows coming out in 2007. You go to fucking Blue Gender and you... Okay, sure. I guess there's an audience for everything.
Yeah. The science guy was kind of one who... He had its moments. I kind of laughed at the chick who wanted to leave the space station. He just goes, let her go, whatever. She made her decision to go die on Earth. Cool.
Hey, man. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Just get fucking brutally murdered at the end because people went crazy.
Yeah. Main man Tony at least gave me some
Tony.
Tony gave me
oh my
joy
God.
and laughter with his just absurdities.
Yuji suddenly just becomes obsessed with Tony guy and wants to be better than Tony. Then Tony decides that he's the Messiah, so he goes and hacks. He gets the blue on his side and hacks the
Okay.
one of the
How did he get the
stations
blue
with
on his
another
side,
one
Hickey?
of the.
That was never clear to me.
That's
they're-
what he explained. It's like, well, it's enough plan, and I am the Messiah.
But
So the blue is a type of cell.
I
And
understand that.
The blue, the B cell guys are not the type of cell that I've created. So both of them actually want to kill mankind. So if he ignored the blue just ignores him, and they're cool with each other. That's basically the explanation. It's not good, but that's the explanation. It feels like I'm just shortening it, but no, it's the whole explanation of why.
Okay. Well,
and then he
I was
just
hoping
goes to
that
a-
wasn't what I
He
figured,
goes
but
to a PC station that actually has a blade attached to it. Sure. And Yuji just jumps, avoids the blade, and tap him in the head. I was like, oh, that with a Glock.
yeah,
I was like,
tough final
mm.
boss enemy, right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, that is sure.
But then he falls on the ground and he's crawling, and girl chick said that's enough, and he doesn't have bullet
Alicia,
hole, and he
yeah.
doesn't have bullet holes in his face. That was awkward.
Yeah, she's like, it's okay. Let's just sleep. It's just a bad dream.
Yeah. All right. So blue gender, Tori. Final score.
Yeah. I dropped out of 10. No, I gave it a 3 out of 10. Fuck this show.
Fuck this show 3. All right, cool. Makes sense to me. Hickey,
I'll give it a 4.
4 for bad.
4 for bad.
I came to the conclusion of, I was like, okay, first half I thought it was fine, trope heavy, 6, but then the second half was even like super atrocious and really infuriating, so I gave that a 2, so I met it halfway. So yeah, 4 as well. Bad show. Bad show. Horrible. Very disappointing, considering I've had this on my plan to watch list for ages. I even have a DVD set I bought for like $2. Maybe that's too much for it.
Yeah, you should get that refunded.
Refunded my $2.
No. Give it to some homeless guy. Maybe he'll appreciate it.
Maybe. Oh man, I could watch this on my not DVD player in 2021.
Finally.
Finally.
Fuel.
Yeah, I was about to say. It's like, not as a show. It must be some other fucking use he can get out of it.
Oh man. So our next episode for 99 is Dragon's Heaven. Hickey, I believe this was a special show you chose.
No.
It's not.
Yeah, I think it's chosen because of me, but not
It was,
by me.
it was chosen by me because it's special for Rick.
Yeah, it's been a while
We'll
since
finally
we
get to enter the magical land of Brazil.
Yeah, it's been a while since we
Empire,
torched a show
Brazil,
Empire.
like this. Anyways, Dragon's Heaven. That's next. We will see you next time, everybody.
Peace.
Goodbye.
She